All right, guys, welcome back to the Spin Zone podcast with me, Cake Eater, and we also got Vile and Wacko. How are you guys doing after a very long weekend of Beyblading?
Good. I'm tired, but I'm good. I'm ready to talk some Beyblade.
Yeah, I'm kind of physically worn out, but I'm in a pretty good mood. Contact went pretty good.
Yeah, I think Contact was a really good event, bringing several different things together. If you guys haven't listened or watched that episode, definitely go listen to that one. It was a really good episode. It was a fun time, team tournament, which I took second. Wacko took first with our teams, and then Vile took fourth with his team. Overall, it was
Yeah, that was my fault. I wanna shout out an apology to Blader Guy too for screwing him in the top cut.
Oh no.
I played really good in Swiss.
Yeah, you
but
did.
I think but during top cut
You choked?
yeah, I kind of pooped the bed a little bit.
Oh no. Well, speaking about pooping the bed, we are talking about
Wow,
What
you
is
implying
that?
That's a
Bro,
wild
that's
intro.
brutal. That's brutal.
Nah, just kidding. So we are actually talking to one of the head guys for the big Vegas tournament. If you guys haven't heard, we're gonna get more into that, but we have Effort coming all the way from Vegas. What's going on, man? How are you?
Doing good. How's it going? My name's Effort. I also go by legal name Michael. I am the head person here for Cave 2026. Been in the industry for over a decade running conventions just for other people. My 9 to 5 is over with GES in the back end now. So I get to work remote on some fancy gaming computer stuff. And then finally putting my own event together here with a team of people that are big in the industry and have been watching anime since forever. So just putting our own thing together and combining all of our groups and activations, and Beyblade's definitely our biggest one. So hoping to do what others have done, but better, and keep going from there.
Now here's the most important question about your Beyblade tournament at Cave 2026 is, can I play my clamp crab?
That's the question we got.
Why am I not familiar with that bay?
It is a Hasbro exclusive out of a dual pack that's like sort of been available in certain regions at Walmart, but not everywhere yet.
With white and orange Leon crest.
Yeah, it comes with this guy.
Oh, that
Where's
one.
yours,
Right.
Wacko?
Yeah.
I don't got one. You're just flexing the crabs on me.
So they're just flexing that they have crabs. Got it.
Yeah.
All I heard just now is that Wacko wants crabs. That's what I just heard.
Yes.
You think I want the goofy hover wyvern retool? I don't want that thing.
I don't think we're talking about that.
Oh boy.
Gale wyvern retool.
Anyway.
That's right.
Yeah, no, that one's all legal. I believe the only banned part is metal needle for our event. So you can run all the sharks you want as long as it's only one in your deck.
Okay, so Dran Sword V2 is totally Gucci. Then I got you.
Oh, yeah.
Got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a flex.
If you have a 39-gram one, our team might have some issues with that.
Oh
my God. What is the weight supposed to be on V2? Does anyone know offhand?
It's like 30. It's like 37 something. It's in the 37s. It's an inside joke for the Vegas community.
Oh man.
Let's see. What do I got here?
Anyway.
Mine's 37.9. Yeah, y'all are on point with that.
All right. So
I think it's like 37.4 to 38.1. I think was the highest I've seen. It might be like 38.9 or 37.9 like that. Yeah.
Sounds right. Mine's 38 even.
So if you guys are watching it right now, the poster is up on the screen if you guys would like to take a look. But of course, we are going to get more deep into the details and everything else like that, including the 2026 sports car for first place, which is a really good prize. So where did the inspiration for a prize for a sports car come from?
So pretty much it was seeing the red Civic being a 2008 red Civic with just Molotov on the hood. And I'm like, that's cool. Winning a car, that's great. But it's a Civic. Why would I travel all the way to Canada or wherever for a commuter car that I can buy on Facebook Marketplace?
Michigan.
Michigan. Yeah, the first one was Michigan, and then the second one they did it in Toronto. I think it was.
Yeah.
Last month was.
Yeah,
Was it Toronto?
Long ago?
Yeah, yeah, and they were telling me it's the exact same one. It's the exact same Civic. That's what I was told. I could be wrong.
Yeah, either way, it don't matter.
But yeah,
so it was on a Civic either way.
Yeah,
it was a Civic either way.
Same kind of car.
I've been debating getting a Civic of a different model, but that's the thing is like we're still shopping. We're trying to find models, but we're looking at Miatas as like our most ideal probably. But then we're seeing a bunch of 3 Series BMWs. We're seeing Velosters. We're seeing Genesis Coupes. There's a Porsche Boxster that I've been eyeing. It's red with black, so it fits the cave color theme pretty well.
You say a Porsche?
Yes.
That's wild.
The only thing is like where it's like trying to find the balance of like, do we want a newer car that's like a more reliable newer car, or do we want like a project car kind of thing like a Z4, Z3? Do we want like a Civic that people are like modding and stuff, or do we want like this is like a 2011 like daily car, or do we want like a race car? Because it's marketed as a sports car, but that could be like a BMW performance car. It could be like a super built out 350Z or something, depending on what we can find. So it's like trying to decide on that balance at the same time. And I've asked around and I always get like 50-50 answers of like, I want a project car because it's a sports car, but I also just want a daily that looks good. So it's a toss up right now. I feel like it's more just what's available for our budget that'll decide it.
We got someone up in YouTube chat saying a BMW, I'm about it. So there's another vote for a BMW.
As a BMW owner myself, I've got a 2021 330i as my daily, and I have that Itasha wrapped with yours. So I'm definitely down for it. I feel like our biggest thing is the last few BMWs my personal family have owned haven't been the greatest endings, I'll say. So it was definitely a choice going for a BMW for my latest car, going from a Lexus hatchback to a Beamer.
Gotcha.
But
it's
a fun car.
Can you bring the flyer back up again real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even the second place and the third place prizes are still pretty nice. Yeah. Second place being the custom gaming PC, and third being the content creator camera bundle. Pretty awesome prize pool.
First place is the custom cave 2026. Oh, okay. Now I understand. Now I understand where I went wrong.
Yeah. So there's a lot of misunderstanding here in the comment section, and I've also heard misunderstanding in other places as well. So I want to clarify this. Guys, what it says here is a custom cave 2026 Itasha wrapped sports car. What that means is the wrap is going to be cave 2026 themed. Does not mean the sports car is a model year 2026.
Oh yeah. I haven't even run into that confusion yet. But yeah, so it's Cave 2026 is the event, and then it's a Itasha wrapped sports car, so anime character wrapped sports car of some kind, so performance vehicle. 2026 vehicle, that'd definitely be out of budget. That'd be over that 20K for sure.
I don't know there's anything that you could even like halfway consider a sports car for under about 40 probably. And again, even at 40, it'd be like halfway, So, so I mean, I do think that, I'm glad we cleared that up. Now, you were talking about the gaming desktop with me a little bit backstage before the show tonight. Now, were you looking to put a 5080 in that? Is that what you were kind of thinking?
Yeah, so that's where we're at for the high-end gaming desktop. Is we want it to be a high-end system because we could do a 5060 and a 9400 like a basic system. And like someone in our Instagram, I think comments for a bit, they were saying like, oh, I don't want like a $1,200, $1,500 computer, but then like the car is like a huge step up, and I'm like that. The prize pool is spaced, so it's like tiered. So it's like the first prize is such number, and then it's like a percentage below that, and then a percentage below that, plus the store credit we're doing. So we have it priced out initially where we're looking to do a 9000 series Ryzen with a 5080 and at least 32 gigs RAM, if not 64, depending on how much storage we end up going with it. So like as you guys can see here, I've got my gaming PC. I've been building PCs since 2019, and from 2019 to the middle of 21, so for about 3 years straight, I was doing computer sales where I was selling one custom tower a week. So I've been building PCs a lot. I lost track after I got to 500, and that's just build and flip systems specifically. That's not counting like custom orders of like, hey, I want this computer, can you build it for me? I have all the parts, can you just assemble it? Like I'm not accounting for those. I'm accounting for just build and flip systems in that count.
Well, that's wild. That's a lot of computers. I don't think I'd have the energy for anything like that. So now, what is kind of your goal out of this event? Like when you conceptualize this big event with the sports car and the gaming computer and the content creator package, the pricing and stuff, like what do you hope to build this into like a yearly thing, or is this going to be like a one-time deal, or kind of what's your kind of goal out of this?
So the main thing is it's our largest activation for the Cave event overall. So Cave itself, we want it to be a yearly event where it's just stitching together all of our local communities and organizer communities. So like myself, I'm one of the founders for the Las Vegas Beyblade group. So that's one of our biggest things because I really want to push that. And I know we have that following just in Vegas alone, if not nationally and internationally. Because other people have done car prizes. People have already done motorcycles and stuff internationally. And like recently there was that big Filipino team tournament where they had over 500 players. And as being half Filipino, watching the Filipino community out there just explode for Beyblade, it's just wild to see that. And I've been in DMs with people from the UK that are trying to fly out. They've got 3 or 4 people that are wanting to fly in to compete. And I'm like, yes, if people from the UK want to come in, let's go. Let's do it.
I'm curious what in the world they would do if they actually won.
Yeah, they're gonna ship that thing overseas.
Yeah,
on a boat.
Yeah, and that's one of the factors. So when you do like a big tournament like this, if it like a vehicle and all this kind of stuff, like if you're under age, you're under 18, whatever, like your parents would have to sign the paperwork. There's tax implications, all that kind of stuff. So there are like alternate pricing. It's like I win the car, but I don't want to drive it back to Maine, right? It's like you can get the fair market value of the prize within a cash thing, but it's commonly there, but legally, like there are ways to do that where it's like I get the market value of it, but it's commonly like what you can sell that prize for, and then you get whatever that is. So like if you look into the legalities of like big prizing like this, and like even like Price is Right and all that kind of stuff, Mr. Beast, like you'll win a plane, but if you're like I don't want to take care of a plane, like you'll sign paperwork and stuff to get a certain cash amount, and then you have to set some money aside for taxes and stuff. But even if you're getting a car, you have to set some money aside for taxes based on the value of that car, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like there's tax implications with that, and on site and directly to the winners and stuff, like we'll be covering that like hands-on with them to make sure they understand everything. Like, okay, you guys are in the top cut. If you guys actually win the prizes, this is what you have to deal with. These are the forms we have to sign, all that kind of stuff. But it's all hands-on managed by us and by myself and my team.
That's pretty cool. So if this one goes well, is it something you plan on doing for future iterations of Cave as well?
We'll definitely be doing Beyblade in some fashion. I just don't know how specific the prize pool will be.
Well, sure.
So that's the only thing. But we also want to add in other event things like it. Specifically, I'm looking to do a yo-yo tournaments. And then like I was talking with Wayward, he also does the kendama stuff. So maybe we could do something kendama related if we can reach out with them. Because commonly a very similar community between yo-yo and Beyblade. It's like even me, like just off camera here, I've got a yo-yo right here. So I've been in the yo-yo community for forever, and we haven't had a regional event, I would say, regional slash yearly tournament since 2018, and that was like a pop-up event. But we host the national tournament out here in Vegas. We've had it for the last 2 years here in Vegas, and from what I talked to the organizers with that, they're not looking to move locations for a while. So if we can host the yo-yo tournament, that also builds up that community.
Yeah, I think the communities at our DexCon gelled pretty well together. It'd be cool to see more events out like that popping up across anywhere.
Yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, the only thing that I really saw which was pretty expected, were all the Beybladers were basically all in one area. All the tech or fingerboarders were all in one area, and all the Kadamas were just all in another area.
Yeah, so we had our corner.
Yeah,
we were kind of, just mixing at night though in the goddamn parking garage. Got to show off those pictures of the Beyblade parking garage. That was sick.
Yeah, I didn't go to that. I heard good things. I heard fun things, but
oh yeah,
that's definitely a thing in the planning side for conventions. It's like, okay, we want vendors here, but then there's an activation that draws people there. There's vendors here, there's an activation to draw people there. So like with this, like the kendama, the fingerboarding, the Beyblade, like drawing people into those areas for sure.
Now, real quick effort. I did have a pretty good question here from one of my locals, a gentleman named Khan. He wanted to know, because you were talking about like the taxes and, whoever winds up winning this stuff, you're going to talk to them about. But this is like a fairly good question, and I did want to address it with you directly. If somebody comes to your event, okay, and they take first place and they win the car, and they decide, yes, I want the car, I don't want the cash value or whatever. Now you said they're going to have to pay taxes on that car because it is a capital gain. I understand that. Are they required to pay that tax like immediately on site, or are they going to have they're going to have some time period to do that? Okay.
Yeah, no, that's 100% like IRS stuff. We don't touch that. It's a 1099 form. One of the 1099s like dash whatever.
Okay,
I think it's like K, but
they wouldn't have to deal with any of that until it's time to file taxes. Again.
Yeah, that's a standard. That's a tax form the IRS does during tax season. That's not something we deal with. Where it's like we're not taking cash or a cashier's check on site for that. No, that's IRS money.
Well, no, I mean it's important, right? Because if a player, if a player does win the car, they might be like, "Hey, I really like this. I want to keep it, but I don't have all that cash in hand at the minute." But it sounds like they'll have some time before tax season to kind of put that money together and pay what they're supposed to. So that's great. Yeah. That's great to hear.
Yeah, that'll be, I think it's April 15th is like the last day for filing taxes kind of stuff. And then of course you can do extensions and stuff with the IRS, do their legal extensions and stuff. But a lot of times if you've got W-2 set up properly, like, and especially if you're even like college students, a lot of times you'll get money back for being a college student and your student expenses, buying your books, buying all the stuff. So if you're getting a tax refund, like that'll feed into it and it'll negate it, if not still give you a refund for the year.
That's sick. And that's kind of the territory we're in. There's been this is not the only event that's had a pretty, big prize race. So this might be the biggest prize so far, but there's been other events with sizable prizes. And at a certain point, it might be something that people have to claim. So it's important to talk about that,
Yep, there's the one I think next week, the trip to Japan tournament coming up. Like that's going to be similar. Like you get the value of the tickets and all that kind of stuff. You're going to have to sign some kind of paperwork for that, for the tax of the value of that. So like even the gaming computer, the camera, I believe it's the IRS is anything over 600 in value. You have to sign that kind of paperwork.
That's correct. Now, whether everyone's always enforcing that or not, who knows? But it seems like you want to run above board, so you're going to make sure that everyone acknowledges what's going on. And it'll be a similar thing for Ticket to Tokyo, because Burr did acknowledge when he was on here hyping that up that if someone for some reason didn't want the plane tickets, he would kind of give them a cash value for those. And so there's gonna. a lot of taxes coming with Beyblade now. Did anyone ever think they'd be paying taxes on Beyblade prizes? Like, that's wild. I love that.
We've leveled up into getting taxed territory out here. It's nuts.
Maybe that's why Yu-Gi-Oh's not doing anything with their prizes. Like, you'll win a toaster, you'll win a Steam Deck. That way they stay below that margin. They don't want to deal with it.
A toaster. Oh my god!
Wow.
Yeah, we have people booing taxes here in the comment section.
I agree.
Hey, listen. I'll say it straight up. I don't. I understand paying my fair share. We all have to contribute to a well-running society. I just sometimes wish that Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk would pay their share too. Just saying. So moving on from taxes, how has public reception been to the event so far? Have you been getting positive commentary, neutral, negative? What have people been saying? Talk to me a little bit about that.
A lot of the feedback I've been getting is very positive. They're like, "Oh, this is so sick. I wish I could go," or "We're definitely planning to go," or like, "I've got a team that are going to be driving in." So it's very positive towards the event itself. Is just, of course, the price, as we were discussing backstage. The price is a bit prohibitive. Like, we're hitting like that ceiling of like, it's only like the sweats that are going to be coming. It's like, you're the ones that are like, I know I can win. There's a chance I could win, especially at that value of like, okay, I need to plan a trip to Vegas. I need to pay for the entry ticket, all that kind of stuff. So it's the price is probably the only negative, and it's only because of the timeline of the game itself. Is like, we can't have more than 200 people. We can fit more in the room. It's just for having that many judges, that many arenas, and still running a relatively quick event. Like, we're doing 2 days, and 200 people is like the max we can like relatively keep within that time.
Yeah. And that's totally fair. I mean, you have to cap it somewhere, and 200 is a very generous number. But yeah, I think you're right. We did talk a little bit backstage. Past a certain price point for a tournament entry, it is going to be the really hardcore players. We definitely have a guy here who's been talking to his family about like, hey, I want to go to this. I want to go to this. And it sounds like he's going to go. He's pretty excited, but he's very, very good player, like a guy who could actually win the event. You know what I'm saying?
I think that whole family could win the dang event. Any one of them.
Well, I mean, after this past weekend, you could make that argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've definitely got families out here that are like that, where it's like the kid, like one of the kids is like a really good blader, like very consistently, like specifically like for the Vegas Kiru, I'm talking like Max's family, even what's his name? From Henderson, they play at Nat 20. You guys know who I'm talking about. Like, the family plays on the regular, and like specifically Max, he was our regional champion last season. And like, out of over 60 players, including some people from Arizona, came out to play, and he was our top player. And then this next one, we have a new family that's from they're a Hawaiian family, and the dad just won regionals with that, but his daughter is one of the like best kids in town, all that kind of stuff. So it's like, there's a lot of families that like put up a fight in our big tournaments like this.
Well, that's great. I think Beyblade's a lot more fun when you can share it with people you care about, and obviously most people care a lot about their families, so that's pretty sick. Now, I did get this question from the audience, and if you're uncomfortable answering it, feel free to just say I'd prefer not to answer. But we did have someone in the audience ask what I kind of expected they would when we talked backstage about how many signups do you have so far.
Yep. So of course, our with that price prohibitive thing, and just in general being a attendee focused thing, people tend to wait on buying their tickets. So we are on the slower side of coming into it, but we're basically at 40 players right now. So that's about 20% of our total cap. So that's we have about 160 left. And if you look on Eventbrite, you'll see like I have some tickets set aside specifically for players of under 10, because kids under 10 get free entry to the event. Anyone above that is the full price, but you're getting the early bird 2-day entry price with the tournament fee, basically.
Effort. I just want you to be aware that that all of us here on the Spin Zone podcast are 9 years old.
Yes.
All three.
Yes, the facial hair is giving it away. Yes.
We were all born on February 29th, so technically we are not the ages that we look. Okay, it's very important to make that distinction.
Jesus Christ.
A whole podcast of leap years, yes.
Yeah, right. So let me ask you, because you did talk about setting tickets aside. And I think this is important to note that that Effort did go ahead and give away I guess giveaway is probably the right word, a free ticket to the winner of Contact this past weekend here in Minnesota. So I did want to thank you for that.
Of course.
And I know you and Wayward are working behind the scenes to get that all sorted out. So that's really cool.
That's super cool.
Yep.
And you mentioned that you are giving away a ticket also to a winner at your local event. Is that correct? That's coming up here pretty soon.
So that one is a regular weekend pass. We did give away a entry to the Beyblade tournament to our regional winner.
So that's my mistake. Now,
you're
are there any other ticket giveaways you're planning on between now and the event?
As it currently stands, we just don't have any planned. I'm open to it for sure. So if
it makes sense for both parties, absolutely.
Yeah, so if there are event organizers that are interested and we can work out something, it's definitely up in the air for that. But as it stands, we don't currently have anything specifically for entry to the cave event. But we have this weekend, it's the Anime Night Mart event in Las Vegas. And our Saturday tournament, first place will be getting a weekend ticket. So the $60 value ticket into the event.
That's sick. No, let me ask you something, because personally, I already said this in the comments. I kind of outed myself. I'm not an anime head. Okay, like there's a few I like Psycho Pass, which is the best one ever. But anyways, there's a few that I like, but I'm not a big anime guy. But what might make me, or maybe people similar to me, come to a big event like this is if there is the potential to meet some big Beyblade personalities out there. Now, do you have any big personalities that are confirmed to be in attendance for this?
Yeah, so we have two primary ones. One of them we recently announced is Amber May. She's a voice actress for anime and TV shows. She's actually doing a lot of work with Universal right now. So she actually posted earlier this year that she's holding back on doing events. So I wasn't sure if I could even get her, but she is the voice of Sigrid from Beyblade X. The owner of Weiss Tiger. So we're very awesome to get her coming in. So we're flying her in from Dallas, or
nice.
Not Dallas, but somewhere central Texas. We're flying her in as a voice actress for one of our guests, and then our main number one Beyblade person for the event is we have Lucas Rossi coming to perform. And if you're not familiar with the name, you should be, but he is the singer of the original Let's Beyblade theme song.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
That's sick.
So now I assume he must be different from the guy who sings the Pokemon theme song, right? He doesn't try to trade his autograph for expensive Gengar cards.
No. So one of our big discussions was like, I'm kind of new to the anime side specifically. So he's like, how do I do it in general? And like, what should I do? What shouldn't I do? All that kind of stuff. And while we were having that discussion, the Jason Page Gengar stuff was going on. And I'm like, oh, man, don't do that.
Whatever you do.
So like,
oh man.
So yeah, I was like, okay.
It was
like, based on the feedback I've gotten from people seeing his performances at events, it's like he overdoes the Pokemon song. So don't sing it a bunch of times when you're on stage. Like mix in other songs. Like people should know some of your other songs, and then do your autographs and signatures. And I sent over like a few like screenshots and stuff that I've gotten from other events of like, this is this person, this is what they sell for their tickets, selfies, all that kind of stuff, and they're known for these things. This one is a movie person on top of voice acting. They charge this much. You're a singer with the songs and stuff, so you can find a balance within that. but set your prices based on like what the standard is within the community, basically. And then like we're flying you out, and then you make your money on the photos, selfies, all that kind of stuff, autographs of being the guy for Beyblade of the original show and stuff like that. So he's going to be on stage performing. I believe we're having him performing on Sunday, so day 2. So after Top Cut ends, he should be performing. And then with the Beyblade tournament, the winner of the tournament is also supposed to blade Lucas Rossi on stage.
That's sick.
So we're going to be doing that on the live stream. Our live stream guy has a wireless camera setup, so he can set it to be on the main stage. So we can. I don't know if we can live stream the performance just because of the like licensing, of course, for music and stuff. But the Beyblade battle on stage, if they win, they also get additional prizes and stuff on top of it to be announced like on site for the most part.
That's pretty cool.
Sick after party.
Yeah, I like that. So I asked the question, and you answered the question very well, but I think I wasn't maybe I didn't get at what I was trying to get at. So personally, and again, I'm sure a lot of people really like Lucas Rossi and the other guest you mentioned. Personally, I'm just weird. I couldn't care less who sang a theme song for something. What I was mostly asking about is, are you aware, and I'm not saying that like you're necessarily like paying for their tickets or flying them in or anything crazy, but are you aware of any of like the big Bay tubers that might be coming, like someone like Zanky, for instance, or Left Burst, or whoever, right?
I've reached out to a few of them on social media, and from what I can tell currently, a lot of them are like, "Oh, I'm doing school and stuff right now." We do have Bay Chronicles coming. He is a content guest for our show. So he'll be there and doing some content for us. We've already announced him on our Instagram. We did a collab post announcing him. And specifically as a Beyblade guest, he does have a promo code. So if you use the code Chronicles when you're buying your ticket, you'll get 10% off of your ticket. And that includes the Beyblade tournament. So we have it. Wow. So it's for everything. So it's yourself, your family. So a lot of people, they'll like buy a ticket because there's the one guy or girl or family member in general that wants to blade. And then like they're bringing their partner, they're bringing their kid along with them. So it's like I'll get a lot of tickets where it's like one Beyblade ticket and a weekend pass, or one Beyblade ticket and like a 1-day pass. And the promo code will work for all of that.
Okay, so the discount code is Chronicles.
Yes, I believe with an S. Let me double check 100%.
Yeah, because I'm gonna put that in the chat right now for anyone who might want to utilize that.
Yep. And we have several others. We have our cosplay guests. We have I think it's just all cosplay guests as well as content guests, which Beyblade Chronicles would be. And it is in with an S, so Chronicles.
Okay, and then you said that's for 10% off, correct? Right.
Yes.
Yep, that looks sick. Okay, I'm putting it in right now. So that's really cool. It's good. I mean, because like 10% off is, I mean, that's a fair amount with the ticket price we're talking about. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah, especially with the Beyblade ticket. Like that's a very sizable number for sure. So
absolutely. So let me let Cake ask some questions. I'm sure Cake's got a few things he wants to ask. I can see him chomping at the bit over there.
No, I'm actually just trying to find like the actual, is there like a website that people can go to like look at everything, like guests, or is it just on all social medias as of right now?
Right now, it's primarily just Instagram. Our event manager is working on updating the website for that, like our event guests, our content guests, stuff like that, and updating information on our maid cafe. Because we made some changes.
What is the name of the Insta account?
So it's a little bit long, but it's cave_cosplay_anime_Vegas. So it's cave and then like what the acronym spells out.
Okay, so cave_cosplay_Vegas.
Yes.
Anime and then Vegas.
Anime
Vegas.
Okay. Anime Vegas, one word.
Let's see.
Anime_Vegas.
Underscore Vegas. Gotcha.
Yeah, sorry.
Gotcha.
So if you
Okay.
guys are listening or watching, I'm definitely going to be including all these links down in the description. So you don't have to go through all this. It should be a quick little uh, easy click for you guys.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's long and weird, but it's SEO stuff for finding it online and all that. So,
Right.
because that was our biggest complaint when we first made the account, is like where people are talking about it and it's like, yeah, it's called Cave, and try and find it, and they're like, I typed it in, I can't find it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this is the event. That's the name. It should pop up in search. So it's awkward, annoying. And even for me, like just telling people like even this is like it's a long one. I apologize, but this is how we have to do it for like how it pulls up online because SEO search databases, all that.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, I've got a question. What
Mhm.
format are you going to be running for the tournament?
So day one is double elimination, best of 3, first to 4.
Okay.
Day
Double
2
elim.
is best of 3, first to 4, single elimination, except for finals, which is best of 5. So that's the
Ooh.
only difference. Day
Ooh.
2 is best of 5. But it's best of 3, first to 4, standard format that everyone generally plays, but it's double elim, not Swiss, because that's way too much.
That's
Okay.
fair, yeah.
But because
So-
we've done events, it's even locally, where we do the first to 7, which is a lot faster, but it's a lot harder to make like that comeback because it's usually like one game first to 7. Even BBAX, they're doing best of 3, first to 5. But like even we just did our event this past Saturday. That's a BBAX event, and we started at 4. We finished in 3 hours, but that was 17 players. So
Sure.
it feels like it runs longer. And the first to 7, I just don't like it's like I get 3, you can lose 7 points in 3 bays and you're basically out of the tournament completely. Where doing the best of 3 format, you can really get a feel of your opponent. You can start to learn like how to mix up your deck in the shuffles, because the first to 4 is like, even if it's spin finish, spin finish, spin finish, like you're gonna play quite a bit, and then like you can learn your opponent in that match, and it still moves pretty fast, being best of 4.
True.
That's totally fair. Now let me ask some more specific rules questions. Is out the top of the stadium 2 points, or is it a reshoot?
It out the top is a no contest reshoot. Out the sides, like illegal out the sides, is the same. And then like the flyer and we were discussing earlier, it is based on WBA. It is WBO rules. So self KOs are full punish.
Nice.
Shroud is a warning, and then if you do it again, launch error, it's a 1 point, and I believe it's 1 point in reshoot. I would have to double check on that one specifically. But I believe it, because I know BBAX it's 1 point and move on. But I believe WBO it's 1 point reshoot.
That's correct, yeah. That's
yes.
usually what we
Yeah.
do.
Okay. And then so Shroud is a warning, early late launch is a warning, air contact is a warning, that kind of stuff. And then out the top is no contest reshoots. And then out the sides, like we were saying.
Okay.
Is there any other off things?
So-
Yeah, I don't think we're doing any other optional rules, because normally we'll do the optional rule of 1 point reshoot for locals, but for this big of an event, it's full punish.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it almost has to be when there's, that kind of prize pool on the line, right?
Of course, yeah.
Now, obviously, I'm sure you'll adjust numbers as is necessary, but if contingent on y'all filling the whole thing and getting all 200 players, if that's how things go, how many stadiums do you plan on running?
So we are planning for 12 stadiums, with having 12 judges at each stadium, basically, and then like a rotating 4. So if one needs to step away, someone else can fill in right away to keep that one running.
Sure.
Yeah,
So if a
yeah.
judge wants to go have a cigarette or go take a whiz or whatever, there's not just a
Yeah.
station sitting empty doing nothing. And
Yeah.
that's probably 12 is probably plenty for double elim. It's a lot
yeah.
different from Swiss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
so that's where we did the math. We did a lot of pre-work on that, of like how many do we need, how many can we get away with if we need to, and like 10 was okay, 8 was definitely a push, but 12 definitely like speeds it up a lot, of just like next player, open arena, like calling it out, stuff like that, making sure the judges are like on it. And almost all of our judges that are set up for the event are WBO certified. There are some that we're using that are not official WBO judges, but they're known in the community as unbiased, very strict with the rules kind of stuff. So they're like appointed judges, but they're vetted by our Vegas Blader crew as well as like the head judges specifically. So with that, one of our head judges is Momo's Models. The owner is one of our head judges.
Sure. And listen, at the end of the day, I don't care if a judge is certified by BBAX or WBO or the NBL or whatever, the the Scientology department of Beyblade schematics. Okay, as long as they do a good job, I'm not really worried about the cert. And it sounds like you guys have been vetting all the judges and stuff, so I'm sure it'll be great.
Yeah.
Now here's a big one people are going to want to know, and then after that we'll get. I know Wayward has a question. I'll let Cake ask that, but this is kind of the last thing, because this can be a major sticking point for some people at these larger events. Are you going to have footage review? Yes or no?
That is our debate as well. We're still up in the air on it. I believe we are saying only judges video. So if the judge themselves has their phone recording, that is the only video allowed, because WBO rules generally say you cannot use spectator video, because there's even the minute chance of editing or anything like that, speeding up footage, deleting footage, or anything, like the minute chance of an audience member doing that, even if they're like standing right there and they give it to you right away, there's a small chance that something could happen. Yeah. We cannot allow that. So the only time that a video review would be viable is if it's directly owned by the judge, and that's up to the judge's discretion of phone battery and time and stuff like that. But that's currently where we're at. That could change, and we will make an announcement online publicly of like, this is for sure the judge is doing video review, the judges are not doing video review, or it's discretion. So we're like, that's the three options. It's like, yes, 100%, no, 100%, or that judge, depending on how they do it.
Can I make a suggestion? Is that okay?
I am very open to suggestions, because it's a debate right now of like, what do we do?
So my suggestion is, it can either be yes or it can be no, but it should never be in between. It should never be maybe, because my problem is that if I feel like the judge made a bad call, and then that happens to be one of the stations where they're not recording, I'm going to be pretty pissy when I'm like, well, if I'd gone to this station, this could have ended different. Like, there's going to be a lot of resentment. I think you either every station runs it and it's mandatory, or it's not allowed whatsoever. Either of those I think is totally fine, and should be up to y'all's team as to what makes sense for you. But I think having some stations have it and some stations, I think that's a very, very dangerous ledge to be walking on,
Yeah, I can definitely agree. And that's where like that argument is right now, where it's like, how do we maintain battery usage to make 100% that everyone can do that, with having 12 to 16 people doing that and running electrical to every station and stuff like that is our debate.
So the only great way to do that is either having a bunch of cords over the floor and taping them down, which may or may not be feasible depending on your setup. The other thing I suppose you could do, and this is kind of up to your guys' budget, and maybe a lot of the judges already have these, but to have the judges have a power bank. Yeah, like those little like phone power banks. Those would help a lot.
Yeah, that's an option we can definitely fit into the budget, especially if we sell out our tickets. So if we can do that, then 100%. So that would definitely be the easiest way. And then everyone has a battery bank, and then once that battery bank is good, or once your phone is back up, charge the battery bank, and like you can cycle it. And even if we don't give like to every single judge, we can cycle them like Wayward saying, like shared power banks is definitely an option. So if we are doing 100% video, battery banks and or running cables, which we could do, it's not that expensive. It's just the taping down.
And maybe some of the stations around the edges of the room, close to outlets, you could run power to those, and maybe banks for the more central stations where it'd be kind of a hassle to run the cords. As long as either everyone's doing it or it's not allowed, I think those are the two options. In the middle is going to piss a lot of people off, I think.
Yeah.
It
So
will.
we'll lock that down with our next judge meeting discussion that I was mentioning we're going to be doing soon. And that'll be one of our like number one things is like video, yes, no, and like you're saying, like stay away from the maybe, because that's like the offshoot, like maybe is like the okay, how do we make a decision kind of thing versus like we're organizing it, this is the rule, deal with it. Like this,
True.
and we'll figure it, so we can figure out based on yes or no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
I think everyone, whether they have a preference or not, will respect yes or no.
yeah.
But like I
Yeah.
said, what I don't think they'd respect is, oh, just depends on what station you get. That's kind of rough. Now,
100%.
Jake, did you
100%.
want to shoot Wayward's question up? I've been talking an awful lot.
Yeah, so before I get to his, because I know his won't go away, but my memory might. When it kind of, since this is a really big, an event with some big prizing up on the line, do you guys have any sort of like a training course, or just kind of keep your guys' judges like pinpointed and like up to date with everything, just so nothing kind of gets kind of out of hand? Or
For that, it's the judges that we are using are ones that are regularly judging. So
Okay.
they are up to date with the rules. They're actively practicing it. They're not the ones that like got their license and then haven't done anything for months.
Yeah.
Or like, okay, this person is a judge, but I've never seen him at a tournament, stuff like that. So like there are
Right.
people in the Discord like that, where it's like, okay, I finally got my judge cert, guys. Here you go, and then like they never show up. So they're ones that we know judge fairly. We know that they keep up to date with the rules and interact and everything like that. So that's definitely a factor. And then of course doing like judge meetings like this to be like, okay, we are setting the rules in this way, in this these are the guidelines, that kind of stuff. So we lock down the specifics beforehand.
Right. Yeah. The
That
only
sense. Yeah,
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, the only reason I asked is because back in June we had a pretty big regional over here in Minnesota, and we had a couple workshops, and one of the
Mhm.
requirements to judge at one of the regionals was you had to attend at least one of those workshops, and I think that was a really good thing that we did over here, just so we and there was just a lot of testing people's
Mhm.
visuals of like fake parts, and
Yeah.
like purposely like sniping out bays, or purposely hitting shroud, just so kind of people can like keep their mind sharp in a way.
Mhm. Yeah, I'll definitely run that by the team. I'm sure we could probably coordinate doing stuff like that, and I think that'd be a good idea to
Yeah.
be like to like lay down like, okay, this is a guideline, but then like, what does it look like? Like, can we show it and be like, okay, did you catch it? Stuff like that, or
Yeah.
even like video reviews. Like, there's a lot of people on Facebook and Instagram doing like online judges. Can you guys do this? And we can test people on those kind of things too. So, especially if we are doing video review, this is a video review. What do you see from this kind of stuff? So we could test people on that. So I
Yeah.
think that's definitely a good idea we can bring up to our head judges and stuff.
Yeah, I think if we
We
ever decided to do a video review event, I think we'd want to do something like that because we don't usually run video review. So
No.
if we ever
no
wanted to
no
do that,
Yeah, it's just judges call visual.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And in fact, yeah, we actually actively like disallow like judges taking footage,
Mhm.
and then usually as long as space allows, but sometimes this changes too depending on space constraints. um and this is actually a great segue into a question that I just got asked here in the audience. um we did have a player ask, will they be allowed to record their own matches?
Um, I with how the floor is laid out, I would say there's nothing getting in the way of that. Is just I feel like people can't be like we can't have like audience hovering around because there's
Yes.
like requirements for egress of like
Yeah.
because like each stadium I believe is minimum 6 feet separate of each other. Because in the fire marshal's eyes, I believe the stadium stands are seen as tables, so they have to be a certain distance from each other.
Sure.
And each stadium will have a chair where the head judge will be sitting. and that way they could put a tripod in front of them if we are doing video review. But then the competitors, they could set up tripods on the opposite of the judge, most likely.
So essentially, what you're saying
yeah.
is yes, the players, because you have a guy named
I'm seeing Remnants in here.
Keith's View 898. Is that correct? Is that one of your team members?
Yeah. So that's Keith. He's one of our founding members as well. And so generally we have never restricted video review. So I would expect yes. I think it's just you can't have like a bunch of friends recording it at the same time, but a tripod that shouldn't get in the way of anything. So yeah.
No. So the players can use the tripod to record the matches they're playing. Now, I assume, however, based on what you said earlier, with the caveat that they understand that their footage is for personal use only and will not be reviewed by the judge.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. That's very clear then.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
if we are doing video review, the guest video is not viable for it. So it has to be from the judge's angle.
There you go.
No matter how much they beg, plead, cry, threaten, whatever.
Yep.
That's all the table.
We got hotel security, so it's a casino, so we got security that don't play out here in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
That's totally fair. Now, did you get to Wayward's question yet?
No, I'm having it up here right now. So coming from Wayward, to learn a little bit more about Vegas, what is your most memorable story from your local scene?
I don't really know, because like, especially being one of the founders, like I've been doing events here since November of 22, I think is when we started our first event. So it's been coming up on 4 years that we've been hosting out here in Vegas. Probably my most memorable would be our first regionals. Because we were hosting it at that Night and Day Games that I mentioned previously. I think
That's
backstage discussion. And in that one, it's a TCG board game store. They were our first one to host us. We no longer host there because management decisions and noise complaints, basically. As we were discussing, like noise complaints for Beyblade is common, especially in TCG locations, because it's very easy for us to start with a TCG location, but then because of the noise and other card players scheduling and stuff, new TCGs coming out, all that kind of stuff overlapping, we tend to get eventually outgrown, basically pushed away, because it's not something where they can be like, okay, I got the next 3 sets of TCG cards coming in, I can just make money off that. It's harder to get product for Beyblade overall, so we kind of get pushed out on that. So finding newer venues like the Fuku Burger I'm hosting at and stuff like that, or our most popular is probably our Friday Desert Breeze events where it's at a park. So there's no noise complaints as a viability. But specifically back to the story with K&D is our first regional we had. We were averaging 40 to 45 players on our weekly Fridays, but we never hit that 50 number. We never hit above 50. So our first regionals, I believe we hit 52. It might have been 55, where we hit over 50 people. And we went, I want to say we went until 1 a.m. Running that event. And even I think Challenge crashed or Melee crashed, because I think at the time we were using Melee before Challenge really got like solidified in Vegas. And basically after that event is kind of what pushed us to start using Challenge, because like, oh, we can't trust Melee to not crash. But then Challenge would crash on us still sometimes, but it's like at least that's where WBO is using things, so we can track it with WBO. But it was a little better, and it's a little more integrated in the Beyblade community. So if you already had Challenge accounts, a lot of times if they're visiting, where Melee people had to make accounts every time. So that one was probably our biggest thing, where it's just we had 50 plus players, we had a full top cut and everything, and we went past closing, and we were like, okay, congrats. And that one I believe was the winners got free entry in Baycon, I believe, as well. So I believe first and second got entry to Baycon that first year. And then the next year, same thing. Because I think at that point we did our regionals like in line with Baycon for the most part. So it's like, okay, the winner gets entry to the BayCon like our second year or something, because it was like a qualifier basically. So I think we had some Cali players come in. I don't think we had anyone from Arizona the first couple, stuff like that. But our last one, the Kronos regionals that we did here in Vegas, we had actually no, not Kronos, the one prior to Kronos. I should have that in here. Let me pull it up. But the one prior to Kronos, we had some people from Arizona pull up. It was like a good handful of players. And some of them will be coming for the for Cave, and then I know some other people from like the Arizona Beyblade community out there. They told me like they have a group coming in. So it'll be good to get to play from people outside of Vegas, especially for this kind of prize pool. So
it's always good when you break that first big number. I remember, was it trying to break 50 or 60 Vile? I can't
I think it
remember.
was 50.
Which one? What
The
event?
one that first event where you were really pushing to break like that 50 barrier, because we couldn't do it either. And then you really wanted to break it.
We got 48 at a time.
Oh, really?
It was close.
Yeah, road to 50.
And then
I think
yeah.
it was.
Yeah, I rode to 50.
Yeah. And then the next one I really pushed, we did. So
yeah, and then we got that 60 player event. So it's really cool when you break that number as a community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that exactly the same. It was South in Texas. Keith went, yeah.
Oh, I gotta ask you this, or he's gonna shoot me later. Burr wants to know if your staff is full or if you need any more staff members.
Beyblade specific staff, I believe we're covered. But for the con itself staff, we're doing volunteer applications and stuff. And then, but like the people like running it, for the most part, is pretty much locked in. Especially being, I think today it's like 39 plus however many hours left in the day, for the event. So, we're getting close now.
Close.
Yeah. Yep. So it's like it's creeping up. What definitely held us back with all the marketing and stuff was losing our venue in the pre-planning process, because we were initially going to be at one of the station casinos here in Vegas, the Palace Station, and we were about to sign the contract with them like that week, and they hit us with by the way, we can't have masks, we can't have face paint, we can't have prop weapons and all that stuff. And I'm like, the event is cosplay and anime. We need those. So
that's the whole point.
Like all of our discussion, doing a site visit and all this kind of stuff, and that never came up. So it's like, and I feel like I had discussed it with them, and they're like, okay, or maybe they like skip past it, but like it's a cosplay event. We need the foam swords, we need the giant Gundam armor, all that kind of stuff. And like that was April, I want to say, and like everything was ready to go. We were about to start taking payment for vendor booths and tickets and everything, and now we have to find a new venue. So that pushed us back until June 1st. So it was like a month and a half of like, where are we going to have this event now? We have interest, we have vendors lined up, but now what? So I finally reached out over to the Tuscany out here in Vegas, and the number one thing is some people recommended it to us for Vegas out here, but I reached out primarily because that's where we used to host our kung fu competitions out here. So I know they're okay with spears and swords and stuff in their hotel because that's what we were competing with. And it's like, okay, so prop weapons is a concern. Tuscany's okay with weapons. Okay. So as long as it's limited to, of course, standard cosplay rules of foam, plastic, cardboard, PVC kind of stuff, they're covered. And the pricing worked out. That was the other thing. It was like there's like 5 main things, but I only usually remember 4. But it's like having enough space for the venue, allowing prop weapons, allowing cosplay masks and stuff, not being overly expensive. And then ideally, we wanted to have outside food vendors because there's a lot of Asian restaurants out here that do things with our maid cafes. They do things with Yatasha car meets and stuff. So they do weekly car meets. They do maid cafe pop-ups. They do stuff like that. So One Piece Cafe out here in Vegas, Boba Cafe, or Anime Boba Cafe specifically, Ichiza, stuff like that. There's like a bunch of restaurants that I wanted to reach out to and have vending. But if they can't sell food, a lot of times it's like, yeah, it's not worth this for us to just go for marketing, especially at like the exhibitor kind of pricing because they're not artists. So it's like it's not really in their budget for it. So it's like, well, that sucks. So that out of the 5 things that we needed, that's the one that we could have sacrificed. And so the Tuscany fit everything else. And the catering stuff isn't too expensive on their end. So food, drinks, and stuff for the maid cafe, and they're going to be selling food and drinks out in the hallway as well, so people can get food. But then the pub downstairs is actually more of what I would recommend, honestly. So if you can get some food down there, they have some really good deals on food and drinks. Like they're, I think it's a smash burger that they have. It's like $7 with with a side, and it's like, but it's eat in the restaurant only. So I'm like, frick, the one event that I'm there for, like I'm running things, so I can't be in a restaurant for an hour.
Oh man.
So I was like, well, I was like, I'm the only person running the table, so I'm like, I can't step out for a lunch break and then come back. Honestly, I probably could have, but I wanted to make sure there was someone at the table 90% of the time at least. So I was like, I'll do it later, kind of thing, and then I just never did.
Well, it's good to have good food in the venue, that's for sure.
Yep. And then one of the other things was like with the Tuscany is like growing up with it. It's like, it's older hotel, but like specifically their convention ballroom, it's always been the same. The carpet's been the same color, and it's like it was like yellow and brown, and it just looked weird. So one of the main things is like, okay, if we're gonna start doing the freaking tournament here, it has to at least look like a good venue. So I went to it before we even started like finalizing things, signing the contract, and I walked in and it's like, why are all the machines all shiny and new? And then I go upstairs and the carpet's brand new. So instead of yellow and brown, it's like gray and blue and white. So it looks a lot better. It looks a lot more elevated than what it used to.
Awesome.
So I personally have a question. So we kind of brought up Baycon a little bit ago. And one thing that Baycon actually had were just like small little tournaments and everything. Are you guys doing any sort of like side tournaments, like content creators or like children under like 16, or is it just going to be strictly that one tournament for the car?
I think for this event, just because of the timeline, I think we're just doing the one. Day 2 we'll have things more for like free play and stuff set up, so people can hang out in like one area of the floor, so it can be like a free play kind of space and interact with people more casually. But especially day 1 when we have the full event going, like I think everyone just has to be locked in to make sure we stay on time. Especially with that many players and being best of 3, it's a lot of like, this one's done, report scored, next person, and it's just go until like lunch break, and then we go again until we're done for top cut.
Sure. I forget if you've already mentioned this, but is it going to be first stage on day 1 and top cut final stage on day 2, or is it all day 1 and then the second day of stuff?
No, so it's main Swiss until top cut day 1, top cut day 2. And then, so day 1 being the double elim, and then top cut being single elim.
Okay, very cool.
So for this year, that's basically how it is. I'm definitely open to having more activation side and more fun side of it versus like hyper competitive for next year when we have more time to plan it, and we can have other local judges and organizer folks like being like, okay, you're in charge of the main event, you're in charge of this side event, you're in charge of this side event. But of course, like more volunteers, so like they have to make sure their work schedule fits and all that kind of stuff. So even now it's like I think we have all of our judges now, but that's only after like the last 2 weeks of like, hey, I need like 2 more people specifically for judging. Like anyone that we from like this group that I specifically messaged, are you guys able to be judges for the big event kind of thing? So that's our balance right now. But I believe we have all of our judges locked in finally. So now we can have the full 40 days. We can find time to do our judge meeting and make sure we lock down those specifics.
Was it
Do
hard?
you have any Beyblade vendors locked in, or any vendors of
Oh.
any kind for the event?
Yep. So we have two specifically. We have Bay Warehouse. They're our silver sponsor for the event, and they have a 10x20 booth. They'll be there vending and selling Beyblades on site. I don't know if they're going to be
Very
doing
cool.
arenas and stuff, but I know Beyblades for sure. And then they have a blah blah blah. Yes, I think it's just them vending, and then they're on all our marketing stuff. They'll be on the live stream overlay and stuff, and go from there. And then we also have Momo's models. They will be vending as well. And then I believe it's primarily he's going to be running the tournament, but then his family will be doing the they'll be doing the vending side of it. So he might be bouncing back and forth, but we have multiple head judges for things, so it's not just him kind of thing.
That's not too bad. That sounds pretty dope.
Mhm.
Yep. We're trying to get more. I've been in contact with Bays and Bricks and Molotov, seeing if they want to do anything additional to what they're already doing in the prizes department. But as it currently stands, not yet. But right now, that's where we're at. We do have vendor spaces open still, so we're trying to get more vendors and stuff in general. But the majority are anime artist folks. We have a few LGS people, including our main like title sponsor, Dark Side Games, where they have a 16x32 booth. Where they're going to be selling TCG stuff, cards, playmats, all that kind of stuff. But then they're discussing also doing like learn to play events where you can play and earn some packs for the games. Specifically, Pow World, the new Cyberpunk TCG, will be released by then. Pokemon, hopefully, and then I'm trying to get them to do One Piece, but hard to get product for that. So we'll see if
I've heard.
they can swing
That's
it.
true.
But they'll be there. We also have a few other TCG vendors, and then the majority are artists, anime artists, and mostly local. We have a few that are from out of state, but for the most part, it's local supporting local.
Oh, absolutely. So we actually got a question from YouTube, and it's a pretty legit question. Can judges play?
So the floor judges, the ones that are going to be at the stadiums,
Yes.
there are some that will be allowed, and that's one of the other reasons for the rotating judges. So they are focused on their match, watching that, but then they leave and they get a new unbiased judge watching the next one. The exception is the head overarching appeal judges. Those ones cannot judge. So the ones that make the final calls, like if you want to appeal for a decision, like this one, whatever, they'll watch video review if we're having the video review and be like, hey, I don't agree with this call, appeal it. The head judges make the official call.
Okay.
That's a good way to handle it, I think. Let as many
Yeah.
people play as possible.
Yeah.
And then will the judges be fed or any kind of like, or I guess any sort of like payment, I guess you can call it.
Yeah. Yeah, so the judges are paid per day that they're judging. So
Oh.
for day one, we have I believe it's a total of 16 that are judging. But then day two, I believe we cut it down to 8 or 12. So it'll be but that way we're not using all of them as like judges kind of thing. So like free play is more open kind of space. So we don't need that many judges for the top 32. For 200 people, we need all 16 going. But day two will be less so. But for each day that they're judging, they get paid, and it's more than enough for food.
Oh yeah, so you're doing double elim until a single elim top cut, yeah? If you cap out the event, how many what's the top cut going to be? Like top 32, top 16?
Yep, it is top 32.
Okay. That's a good number for 200.
Yeah, it was like 64 seems like too much for day two. And then 16 is too narrow, I feel like, to be like after all of this thing just to be top 16. And then that's like a couple hours day two, where it's a very small window. So it's like 32 is like a good balance of like time and that way day one doesn't keep going for another round. day 2 isn't too short or too long as well.
Yeah, then day 2 will go to single elim, best of 3 rounds, and then the best of 5 points, which is, I think,
correction on that. It's still best. It's first to 4 points, best of 3. The exception is finals. The final match is best of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's best of 5. First to 4 points.
First to 4. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so still first to 4, and then the finals would be just a single round best of 5.
Yeah, that's the only exception. Everything else is best of 3, first to 4, and then it's double versus single.
Okay.
I dig it though.
I mean, it seems pretty fair.
I mean, are you going to be using wayward spin stands, or how are you going to be using your stadium?
Got to commission some.
Yeah. Luckily, we have local guys that make our stands. It's like 2 versions. One is just the box, and then you have like a cup things that attach to it, and then there's another one that makes where it's one big piece, and then you can put your deck on that top piece. So it's primarily just deciding which one to make the standard. And then we also have like a separate one that's a lower or adjustable, basically, for ADA as necessary.
Okay, so you play on higher height stands then, not like the lower height ones.
I believe it's each. So one is like the lower design, one is the taller design. So that's where we have to decide.
Oh, you haven't decided which height to use yet. I see.
Yeah, because the square one with the cups is taller. The one that with the built-in thing is slightly shorter, but we can make them in either way, so they can adjust it. We just have to decide what our standard is for the event.
Sure.
And that's a couple week thing of like, okay, ordered, here's payment, get the stuff and make it, and then we'll own them for tournaments going forward. So especially our locals, but also future cave events as well.
That's fair.
Josh just here in the chat, he's saying he's one of our guys. He's the one actually connected us. The one he makes is the 26-inch height.
Oh, nice.
And that's the one I personally own as well.
Then
That's
B4
fair.
stadium height.
B4 stadium height is interesting to play on. I hadn't really played on it much before Baycon, but it's a bit of a different experience than the table height ones.
Yeah, I have some opinions on that, but not really important or relevant to this conversation.
No.
Now we have one of our locals here trying to stir the pot a little bit, I think. Who are some of the best bladers in Vegas to be looking out for at this event?
Here, so what I'll do is I'll name them, but not by their challenge name. That way they can stay anonymous like everyone else, because they're strangers, unless if you know kind of thing.
No.
Yeah.
But definitely Paul, Max, honestly even Liam right now. He's pretty crazy. Justin Kelly are up there. Law Keith, like they're regularly top players. James, especially my Thursday events. James has been a menace. A lot of times, even like he'll 5-0 the event and win almost all of the raffle prizes. so like when it's like, hey, this guy won, is like, boo this man. He keeps doing it.
So his name's Battleship then. Okay, I got you.
I don't know. AJ keeps winning every single, at least one raffle.
He cleans up the raffles.
Yeah. But yeah, we do the Thursdays a lot of fun. Like I was saying, like a lot of the prizes are like round 1 prizes that are extras that are just sitting around a lot of times. So it's like there are a lot of anime figures and stuff. I did a lot of it's like right now we're making them themed, just because a lot of the prizes at round 1 tend to be themed in that way. So I'm trying to win. I've been trying to win those One Piece round 1 exclusives. I never won any of the figures, but I got a bunch of the keychains. I got a bunch of the Luffy hats and stuff like that. So in the top 3, someone won a Luffy hat. In one of the raffles, someone won a Luffy hat. and
That's
then
so
the
cool.
keychains were part of the raffle stuff. I had the larger round one employee chopper. That was also a top 3 prize. I had the smaller round one employee chopper as a raffle prize, stuff like that. So this coming Thursday is Demon Slayer themed, so I still need to make the flyer for that. But we have 3 figures. We have frick, why am I blanking on their name? Of course, while I'm on the spot, Tanjiro, Akaza, and Rengoku as our top 3 prizes probably. And then on top of that, we have other characters. I think I have a Shinobu that's definitely going to be one of the raffle prizes, and probably a couple more. But those are the ones like off memory that I know for sure.
Sounds like a pretty unique prizing system. I like it.
Yeah. It's been working. It's like we started out, I think our first Fuku Burger event was 32 players. And then it kind of like, okay, it's a new venue. It kind of settled in the 20s for a little bit. And then I did like our first like themed event was Spider-Man because it was the release week. So we had 36 players on Spider-Man night. The next week after that was 32. And that one was not Chainsaw Man.
One Punch Man?
No.
Hero?
Frick. I think the thing was I had one Chainsaw Man character in it instead of the other show. Because I was like, oh, he looks similar, and then I was like, wait, no, that's a Chainsaw Man guy. Frick, I have it in here. We did a Pokemon one. JJK, that's what it was. It was a JJK night. So we had Gojo figures. We had the pink-haired guy, Itadori. That's his name. I know it. I watch JJK. I can go get my panda head out of the closet if I want. I cosplay Panda from JJK all the time.
Oh, nice.
And then our last one we did was the One Piece one. And then we have Demon Slayer this week. We have Frieren the next week. And then we have Miku the following week. And then after that is up in the air. So doing theme stuff. And then like we'll give away posters. We'll give away anime figures. We'll give plushies, whatever we can find and get at reasonable prices to make it worth competing basically. And this last one, this One Piece tournament, we hit 40. We hit exactly 40 players. So I was like, okay, well, if I join now, it's 41. Someone's going to get a buy. So I'm just going to hang out.
Yeah.
Sure. I think that's something a lot of scenes could
That's the
consider
responsible thing to do.
until the Beyblade prices at least stabilize a little bit, because obviously it's hard to get products for organizers right now. So if you need to, you could give other stuff away as prizing.
Mm-hmm. It's like I've been building, like I think I was talking backstage about it, but like I've been building up stock of some of the newer bays. So I have 2 of each: Valor Bison, the Ring Aether, and Blitz for prize giveaways. I have at least 2 more Blue Phoenixes with the Hexa bit.
Nice.
I have, I mean, I could dip into like my display over here if I need to, but I've got all the Star Wars collabs. I don't know if you guys saw the release of the Transformer kit, but that's probably going to be one I'm going to stock up on.
Transformer
There's a
kit?
new, yeah, just
that new one.
Yeah, the Optimus and Bumblebee, because it has
yeah.
it has 770 level.
Yeah,
It has like 160 freaking wedge and stuff like that, and it's all like competitive bits. So I'm like, that one I'm probably gonna order as many as I can for pricing / even for myself, because I need new levels. Hopefully the wedge is a better one, so it doesn't burst as much, that kind of stuff. So
I mean, that'll be sick. That's a really good set. That's a really strong set.
Very true. So are you guys going to be doing like door prizing or just random raffles as well to kind of keep people like intrigued, like after rounds, in between rounds?
that side we're not sure yet because it's availability for the most part, but also budget. So ideally we're trying to get more sponsors. I need to take the time to just sit down and just email a bunch of the contacts that I have. Because I actually went to the licensing expo that we have out here in Vegas, where I could actually talk to the Beyblade X reps and stuff. So I went there, but I got a bunch of contacts over there that are like Dueling Guard, Nintendo, Bandai, and like other big IPs, where I'm like, hey, we're doing an anime convention. Would you guys be interested in sponsoring and coordinating with this and grow it from the ground up? but I just haven't taken the time to be like, I have a stack of business cards and just go like da 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 all the way down, and just be and because like of course I can't just copy and paste one message of like, I like your company, please sponsor us. I have to like be like, okay, why does it make sense for them to coordinate?
Yeah, you gotta sell
and
it.
stuff like that. So yeah, gotta do the marketing thing.
I mean, you could do that. I'm just not sure you're going to get the responses you want.
Yeah.
Like,
could, but should is the question.
no, I mean, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. So, what would you say your biggest challenge has been? Now, I know you mentioned earlier that you guys didn't wind up signing with that first venue you looked at, but outside of that, what's kind of been the biggest challenge for you guys putting this all together?
I would probably say it's the ticket hold off kind of thing, which is typical with B2C events like this, or just attendees in general. So even B2B events, like our production company was telling us the other day, like even the like industry events where it's like continuing education and stuff, where that's more of our like management background like that, like they're booking 30 days out, they're booking 40 days out, 20 days out. So like the last push of tickets is like basically right now, but like 2 weeks from now is like where we would expect most of our people to come in, just based on general track record of events for 30 plus years of managing events. So it's like, okay, so like we need things now, but then we also need it for like the car. We need time to make sure we get it maintained, we get it wrapped, and it's good to go. Building the PC, make sure we have all the parts, they work, stress test the system, all that kind of stuff. So it's like that balancing act of, we need the things for marketing, but we need the tickets for marketing to fund the marketing. So it's that balancing act, especially being year one, being grassroots like this. So we're doing this without like SBA loans. We're doing this without business credit cards. Like we're just doing this straight up. So it's that balancing act of natural sales and funding.
Well, yeah, the problem is once you start bringing credit cards into the equation, then I mean, that can be problematic. I totally understand.
Exactly. Yeah, so we're trying to make sure we're staying in the green from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I would do the same thing. I totally get it. So let me expand this a little bit, because we have talked about the event for quite a period of time. Tell me a little bit about what you love about Beyblade X.
For me, Beyblade X is like what we've been wanting from Beyblade, because Burst was good. It gave us a new gimmick of like the exploding and the different tools that we can like implement into the game, of like the knives coming out and the bursting technology, of course. But like people, and like that's kind of what was built on in Plastic Gen back in the days, like Plastic Gen, but they had all these gimmicks and all these different things. But then Metal came around, and that's when it like really like popped off, I'm pretty sure. And like even for me, like I still have all of my Metal Fight bays. I'm never giving them away. I'm never selling them. The only thing I did was I got rid of the arenas, because I gave those to the kids at my kung fu school. And I'm like, you guys can have fun with it. Like I'm not actively playing. I don't join tournaments. Like I'm in high school, I'm in college, whatever. You guys can deal with the plastic that's cracking on my arenas, because I've overused them. But like my bays just sat around, and outside of stamina matches, Metal Fight kind of was just like, how can I outspin you? They didn't have like attack types doing stuff. They didn't have these defense bays doing as much as they should, where like the Twisted Tempo Earth Eagle kind of bays were like rampant, and the left spin steel bays were rampant, just because it was a stamina match the entire time, where Burst gave a little bit more flexibility with that, especially with Quad Drive giving like second life to things and other gimmicks and stuff, expanding on the technology of the game, where X really like combines all of it. It builds in the gimmicks, it builds in the burst technology, but it brings back the metal that everyone wants, because everyone's like, oh, my metal bay is so much better. But you can bring that back with X. And now with the rails, it just makes the game just so much more aggressive, a lot more entertaining. Like, of course, there's the Wizard Rod matches, but even then, like Wizard Rod, that's one bay in your deck. you go and then you change to the next one and it's back to engaging content. Even the stamina decks, even I would say, like you're not doing, it's not stamina versus stamina every single match. Like you're not going to be doing a 3v3 like that. And if it is, it's like one match of the entire tournament. I feel like you're mixing in attack base, you're mixing in defense base now. Like especially the meta has shifted so much recently, where like defense base are actually seeing use. You're seeing the golem rocks, you're seeing the sharks on wedge and free ball and stuff. You're seeing blast Pegasus even on free ball orb, stuff like that. It's like you're seeing the variety of the game now because you can actually use use those formats, where it's like just using stamina bay isn't as viable because someone's going to come in with an attack shark on 150 ignition and you're going to burst every single time. Or like even Clock Mirage, like if you can find like that one where it's like, can you pop the clock kind of guy, where he's got that one ratchet that just doesn't burst, but every other Clock Mirage I've played against generally will burst. It's like you'll find like some grails here and there, like this is unburstable and stuff, but for the most part, like that's still just one bay of the deck. So it's a lot more variety. It's a lot more entertaining. It's really just a culmination of every generation at this point.
Yeah, the meta's in a super healthy spot right now, I think. Even like everybody for the past however long X has been here has been saying defense barely exists. And like they've been right. But now we're getting Mummy Curse. Ring Aether put up a huge performance at our last event, Contact. It won both the events, team and the main event.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, like that was the thing. Like I was saying online, like exactly that. I was like, there is no defense base right as the meta shifting into defense base. So it's like I was seeing the complaints as it was shifting.
Yeah. No, super cool.
I mean, to be fair, Wacko, I don't know if we're ever going to see another Ring Aether coming off the rails like it in the finals and extreming something for the match win. That was pretty wild.
That was nuts. It did get us an overfinish to win the team tournament, though. It can punch a little bit. It's got some power behind it.
Yeah, it's not as tame as some of the other like I don't know. I think it's cool. I think Battleship really resonates with him specifically. I think that's kind of like his new favorite right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for
He's been waiting for a good bay to put on point since Mummy Curse came out. He's been running Mummy Curse point for months now. And now Ring Aether finally came out and actually synergizes with it. So he just gets to ball now with Ring Aether.
960 point, I think he's running it.
I should
right
try
now,
it on
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
That's definitely one I was looking at. Because there was a guy locally just before he moved to Hawaii, and he's building up the Hawaii community out there based on our Vegas platform. It's like he like rebuilt our Discord for Hawaii basically. So it's already like copy and pasted format basically. And right before he left, he was putting together like Knight's Helm, I think, which is a similar design to Ring Aether, on 160 point, and that thing was a beast. It's like, so I even built it with a wave 1 Knight's Helm just because that's the only one I have, and like that one was putting in work. And it's like with Ring Aether, like I was wanting to do that, but I was running 160 on my Phoenix, so I didn't build it for that tournament. I ended up doing 560 taper, and it wasn't performing the way I wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
That's fair. Have you gotten your hands on Hell's Nether yet?
No. It looks interesting, but I'm not paying the price for that as
That's
it is
fair.
right now.
I think that's fair.
I do want the set because that purple wolf is like calling me.
It's so pretty.
And then
Beautiful.
like I still don't have a hover. I still don't have stuff like that. So like the drop attack stadium, I never bought one. So I only got a low rush because I bought, I believe, the Japanese Impact Drake. So I've just been using that since it came out.
You never bought it, not even when they were on clearance for like $18 at Walmart this past month.
By the time I saw it, they were sold out.
Oh
So
my
yeah.
I see the announcement is like, hey, like it's on sale at Walmart. And I go to click it and it's like it's sold out. And I was like, well, that sucks. Or like at most the sales I've seen were like $5 off, where it's like instead of like 50, it's 45 or something. I was like, I'll just wait for the clearance. And then those, I've never seen them. And then like even the sneak attacks, like same thing. I'm sitting on them where it's like I'll see it at Walmart for 50, I'll see it at Target for 55, and I'm like, I could just get it. But for me, it's like the only one I would want out of that is the Shinobi, And the stadium's cool, but we're not using that in tournaments outside of like side event things.
No.
And
No.
the Aegis, I think it was, like he's like 32 grams and doesn't do anything. Like I'd rather run like
No, I
Night
mean,
or
Golem.
Yeah.
Rampart is objectively hot garbage. I mean, there's
Yeah,
no
It's
way around it.
horrible.
Yeah, so I'm like, it's not really worth it at retail for me. The stadium's cool, but it's a fun thing. Same with like the motorized one. Like we have a few people that own it, but same thing. We only ever use it for side event things, and that's the only time it ever gets used. So it's like they're cool, but why?
I mean, okay. So the motorized one, I will say, I think it's a pretty cool stadium.
Yeah,
I would
it's a lot of
definitely
fun.
run. I would definitely run a motorized stadium event if they weren't just so expensive. Like they're just
100%.
very expensive.
Yeah, 100%. We were talking about that. It's like, hey, is like, can like our main team, like if we all get one, like we can run a full tournament and with like 6 stadiums, and like we can run an event. But like that was at release, it was a little hard to get. I'm sure now we could probably get them, but even then, it's like we would need like 8 or 9 to like really host an event like that.
Yeah, and they're still not cheap. You know what I'm saying? They're still pretty expensive. Like they're easy to get. Like there's no gate through or like hoops you have to jump through to get them, but they're still like almost $100, I'm pretty sure, a piece.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot.
That is.
Exactly, yeah.
So we actually had a question up in chat. What is your favorite Beyblade X combo?
The most fun, most competitive. That's very different. So I would say like
okay, what is your favorite competitive combo and what's your favorite fun combo? How about that?
Here we go.
There we go.
I'll say my favorite competitive one is probably Soar Phoenix 160 Low Rush is like my go-to. Like that's my number one bay. Mold 3 or Blue Phoenix with that specifically. I used to run the OG version where it was Phoenix 360 Orb. So like he's been my go-to bay since release. So Phoenix is still in my main deck. But that's like my go-to. I really had a lot of fun with Wizard Rod on 560 Jolt. There was one tournament.
Whoa.
There was one tournament where it actually was listed in like the winning deck, and I'm like, how do you have my combo already? But like it would not burst, and it would outspin like Dragoon elevates and everything, and I'm like, what the frick is going on? But it would always lose to the Rod Hexa. So it's like I'm missing that one thing where I'm like, how do I beat that in the stamina match? But it was a pretty fresh Jolt, so it was still kind of aggressive, but it's a little worn down now, so it's losing to the Wizard Rod because it doesn't have as much attack in the beginning now. If I get a fresh one, then it might do better again. But with a worn Jolt, it's stamina king for me outside of specifically like Rod 160 Hex. So that one's fun. I've recently been trying it on Transpoint as well, but I don't have Trans Kick, so I would have done that if I could. But the weird bits on that is the fun one for a competitive, like actually I run in tournaments build. But for a fun deck specifically, like I really like the Barrage El Drago I think it's 360 Bounce Spike.
Okay.
Because with it being so light, when it's sitting in the center as like that defense bay, it's just hopping for some reason, and that bounce spike stops it from doing that, so it spins longer. But like I was bringing that to locals all the time, and like you launch it on a tilt, and it comes in really aggressive in the beginning, and then it's just spin sealing at the end. But it's not as good as Elevate, but it doesn't burst as much as Elevate on the El Drago, so. That's like my go-to fun one for sure.
Yeah, someone said that rod combo sounds very annoying. People are giving their favorite combos, like a Arrow.
Yeah,
Pegasus.
AP 170 Rush. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of standard. I mean, 170 Rush though, it might be a little tall, but I've seen people doing 180s lately, so I could see it because it's kind of like a down smasher kind of thing right now.
I've been forced onto 170 a couple times. It performed fine. I liked it.
Yeah, I think that's what Blader Guy 2 is running. This weekend is on 170.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Well, question for you personally. Are you planning on hitting any GPs?
No, there was the one that was supposed to
There's
be
only one
California,
left.
right? There's the one in California
Is
like
there only
last
one
week or
left?
something.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
yeah, they're
Oh.
all like East Coast a lot of the time. So like
Oh man.
I couldn't do that or
Yeah.
far.
I thought
Like
there was one
even
this
or
weekend
like
too.
if it was West Coast, it was like Seattle or something like that. It's like far. So especially with planning cave and everything, like I just don't have time to go out like that.
Yeah.
But the other thing is for me, like I'm double ACL surgery. So Hasbro arenas on the floor is really not a thing in my opinion.
Oh damn.
So
Yeah,
like,
that
like
would
I can
Well,
now,
they-
but
they-
but it's still
they-
uncomfortable.
Well, now to be fair, they do have stands available for ADA accessibility and all that. So
Yeah, I don't know if I
Um,
would qualify for that because it happened. Like my second surgery was 24, something
No,
like
it's-
that. So it's more like personal
no,
complaints. But
no, I mean I understand, but their directive to all the crews was if someone requests it, let them use it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
pretty. You don't have because Hasbro. You got to figure Hasbro doesn't want the PR nightmare of we denied a disabled person reasonable accommodation. So
Yeah,
and
no.
a lot of laws in our country protect them from asking for things like people's medical, like they can't say like,
Yeah.
oh, prove it. They're not allowed to do that.
100%.
So the directive
Yeah, yeah.
was, hey, if someone requests the stand, go ahead and bring it out for them. So
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So like that's always been a talking point for us as organizers. It's like, okay, Hasbro rules. It's the Hasbro arena on the floor. Like, sure, they might put out mats and stuff, but even like AX, like they're following those rules. So it's like it's always been awkward, annoying, confusing for the most part. But I get why. I also get their side where they've like mentioned like we don't want to have to like deal with the regulation of them being certain sizes, and then people have to like measure them and all that stuff if you're doing a tournament and stuff. Like even for us, like if we're making our tournament stands and stuff, but they're made to the same standard, and as long as they all match, they're fine. But like if people bring their own to an event, then it's like, okay, is yours to actual spec? Is yours to actual spec? Stuff like that. So I could see that, but like, and then it's also the cost of like Hasbro would have to make them and provide them to stores and stuff, I'm sure too. So there's overhead on that.
yeah,
And then of course they complain
we're
about
very lucky in Minnesota. No, I mean I get it. We're very lucky in Minnesota where we just have one guy who makes all of them, and he makes them so nice and can print whatever graphics you want on them and stuff, and they're so pretty. There's just if somebody showed up to one of our events with like a Home Depot box, I know that's what they use in a lot of regions. And listen, if they work for them, that's fine. But here in Minnesota, they'd probably kind of get laughed at a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we just do have such a great local maker in Wayward who just everyone comes out the exact same. They're high quality, they're easy to transport, they're light. It works great for us.
Mhm.
I know not every area is quite as blessed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have our two that make ours, so it's super helpful having them. So we can reach out. It's like, oh, I'm busy this time because of work, so we reach out to the other guy, and then he'll be like, okay, I can make them, or the other way, like, oh, I'm busy with family stuff, or I'm out of town, and then the other guy will make them. So by having a standard, it definitely helps. So
Absolutely, I agree.
So, I got a question kind of going back to cave and everything. Obviously, we know about the whole first place, winning the car and everything, but kind of let's go like talk about the other prizes. Like, how did you come up with the ideas of like the gaming PC for second place and a camera bundle? Which I don't. What does the camera bundle include? Also, how do you come up with the idea of playing with the guy that sings "Let's Go Beyblade"?
So I'll touch up on the Let's Beyblade side first. Because that one was I started the discussion of putting this event together, and we're trying to figure out what to do and who to reach out to and stuff. And it just lined up that he put out a post online saying, "Hey, Beyblade people, I'm the singer of the song. I want to do events. Hit me up." So I messaged him on Facebook specifically, and it took about a month for him to respond to me. But he got back and he's like, "Hey, that sounds sick. let's chat. We did a phone call, we coordinated everything, discussed specifics and everything, and locked it in. But it just lined up perfectly where it's like we're starting to do this and he's starting to do exactly what we're looking for. So it worked out perfectly to coordinate. And that was our, like, he's our big Beyblade thing. So if you know Beyblade, you pretty much know that song. So he's our Jason Page, basically.
Right.
But not Jason Page. He's our Jason Page, but not Jason Page.
Am I gonna get laughed at for saying I've never heard this song before?
I feel like
You've
even
never
just
heard
like
this
on
song
social media,
before.
like people post it like with their edits and everything. Like
Beyblade.
You've heard this song
No.
before.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no way.
I have not. I almost promise you.
All right, I'll send it
Well,
later.
yeah. Maybe
the show
that's
I'm gonna
a
go see. I'll go find out.
There you go. Maybe that's an episode idea. You guys can just go over all the different intros and OSTs and stuff.
Yeah, just a tier list episode.
Just a tier list, list of all the Beyblade songs.
Oh man. Anyway.
But yes, and then so how the prizing in general, like the top 3 specifically, kind of grew was seeing the civic tournaments and being like, okay, first place gets a car, but then second place got like like an AP or a gold wizard or something, and like they'll get a Beyblade, and then third place will get a different Beyblade, or they'll get like a couple $100 here, a couple $100 here, or something like that, where it's like a big prize, and then it's like so like even like getting second and third, it didn't really feel like worth going, where like only if I win first I would kind of want that prize. So initially when I was saying it, like I was talking more jokingly, but talking especially to my event manager, it's like, why only first place getting a car is kind of the idea. So it's like, okay, we do a top tier car, then we do like a smaller, more budget car, then we could do like a motorcycle or something like that. And I'm like, okay, but that's kind of repetitive. It's like, it's just And unless we're like are sponsored by Toyota or something, or like even like a third party dealership or something, it's like that really doesn't work out. So it's like, okay, that's kind of meh. So what else could we do? People that are into anime and Beyblade and stuff are pretty competitive. I'm sure a lot of them do video games. I've had that computer company that I was mentioning earlier since 2019. So I can build a good gaming computer easily, fast, and know it'll work for years to come, and not have an issue with that. And then we can theme it to Cave. We can do vinyl stickers. We can build out into the system. Like even this one, like I don't know if you guys can really see the quality, but like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 8 anime figures inside my tower. So doing a Cave theme inside the computer or on the computer, depending on what case we're doing. If we're doing like a full tower like this, we can build into it and not restrict the airflow. We can build on top of it if we do like a home theater PC and make it like a diorama. That's a consideration we've been doing, and make it look like a cave. We can put we have a bunch of people with broken bays. Like one specifically, he's broken, last I checked, I think was 16 Dran Busters. So we have people with piles of Beyblades. So I can build out a cave diorama and be like scattered broken bays everywhere, and have it be like a Beyblade graveyard and stuff. Stuff like that. Like just this last Thursday, we had someone break a Keel Shark versus a Dran Strike. We had someone their Scale Shark just got cracked going up against a horn rhino horn. So it's like,
that's
like,
so
dang
unfortunate.
it. And then, and then people with Meteor Dragoons, they're always talking about like theirs is cracking already. And it's like, I've only used it for 3 tournaments and it's already cracked. So it's like we have bays that are like broken or getting broken that we can use for something like that. I saw recently, I want to say it was Anime NYC, but it could have been some other anime convention where they display custom towers, and inside is a full like Lego scene. So we could also do like a cave theme built out of Legos. So stuff like that. So like there were some that were like One Piece themed, where they have like the entire Going Merry and like scaffolding for building it with Usopp and Nami and them all in there. So there's ways around it. We just have to decide and go for it. So the PC side is easy enough. So that was another one where we can easily make it high or low. Yeah, Keith right here in the chat, his blue AP. Our last regionals, his broke at the regional tournament.
Oh man.
Going up against Kelly. She ended up doing the final blow to it with her bays, stuff like that. So the PC is like, okay, we can upscale it, downscale it depending on how we need. So keeping it within that range of just being a high end system. That way, it's like, okay, but how high end? And that basically just comes down to budget. But like we were discussing the specific parts. That's what we're aiming for. And then for the third place, it was kind of the same thing as like, okay, if our third place is around this kind of budget, what would be a reasonable thing people would want? And there's a lot of people that do content around Beyblade. So we're looking at specifically, I'm looking to get a Sony ZV-E10. It's a mirrorless camera with the detachable lenses and stuff. That's what I personally use for photography, videography, for photo coverage and stuff. I can't type in the chat. I'm not signed in, but it's effortless photography. So keeping with the effort theme, that's kind of like part of my branding. But effortless photography, doing photo, video, social media coverage, and that's for Beyblade, for businesses, all that kind of stuff. And using the ZV-E10 is like such a good platform to use, and it's on the Sony E-mount, so there's so many available lenses and all that stuff, so people can really customize to their needs in the future. But it's the mirrorless camera. We're giving SD cards, which of course you guys are talking about PC parts. SD cards and SSD storage is also up there in prices as well. So SD cards and external SSD drives are included in that bundle. I believe it's a 256 SD card. The debate is 1 or 2 right now, and then a 1 terabyte external SSD for sure. But then also it's newer, NEEWER. There's a newer tripod that they have that's like a crane arm. So it's a tripod and then has a crane arm mount. So you can mount the camera vertically to record for Beyblade matches. And it's a pretty good price. So we're looking to get that one with a shotgun microphone and then a bag to hold everything in.
Oh man.
Nice.
So it's geared towards the community. Yes, it's focused on like for me, it's like if I'm doing Beyblade content, what would I want? If I'm doing a gaming computer and it's a high-end competition like this, what would I want? So like because I'm, as someone who's in the Beyblade scene, who does gaming, who does photo stuff, who does content for Beyblade stuff, like I am the target market. So what would I want for what I'm paying is kind of our benchmark, but then also bouncing off of other people in the community. So it's not just what I want, it's what other people think about it and stuff. So like we were asking people in Instagram DMs, it's like, hey, we're looking to do this based on the price and all this stuff. Like, what would you recommend on pricing? Or if we have stuff like this, what do we have? Like, what would your feedback be on it? And it's like we really bounced ideas on stuff like that. Like even like if we stuck with a vehicle idea, we were thinking like, okay, still a car for first place, but then it could be like an e-bike for second place, and then like an e-scooter for third place. That way it's still mobile, but it hasn't been done yet. So that's also a factor. So like maybe that's something we do for next year, is that way it's not the same as we did this year, but it's still fresh. And maybe we don't even do a car. We might do a car, or it could be motorcycle, e-bike, e-scooter, something like that. So like different variations, but fresh and different, ideally.
Yeah, I know. I think it was just last weekend.
Makes sense. Pretty cool.
Or a couple weekends ago, where someone gave away, I think it was like a crotch rocket or something like that, and that's also another totally different prize. And I'm personally kind of digging all the getting away from Beyblade pricing, because about how many bays can you actually get? Yeah, bits break, parts break, and everything else, but
at what point is too many?
Right. Like, and then how many times are you offered, hey, if you win this, you could win a nice car, you could get a nice camera, you can get an e-bike, and maybe some of those things you're actually looking looking into buying, and all you got to do is pay a small, well, in this point, it's a decently larger price.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah, it's not small anymore, Cake.
No, not
Yeah.
small. But if you pull it
well,
off, then you're
no,
getting some bang for your buck.
yeah, not just in Vegas,
Yeah.
but just overall. I don't know how much the entry fee for that crotch rocket was, but yeah,
Yeah, and
like
like
I have
it
no
would
idea.
scale for sure of like how many sponsors we can get to lower the costs, and then on top of that, like can we get deals on things? So like if we can get like the e-bike on sale at Costco because they have one on their shelf at least out here for like I think it's 450, $500, but if we can get it on sale for like 250, that brings the value up, but our hard cost down, so we can lower the tickets to attendees in that regard and stuff like that. So even so they're just finding deals in general helps everybody. And then like does it fit the theme? Does it make sense to do kind of stuff?
mhm.
So
Wayward actually has a really good question. Are you implementing a queue for the event to get competitors to the stations?
so that is part of our discussion. It's one of our notes for the judge meeting of how do we keep the line moving. Because when we did the one in LA this February, it was a lot of like, hey, stadium open, people calling it out, or people trying to find their partner and being like, okay, how do we get people with their partner and ready to go? And being like, okay, I like next battle versus like people taking 2 minutes to eventually meander their way to a stadium. It's like, how do we enforce things going faster? And one of the discussions that have already been brought up for that specifically is when we were doing Evo, the Vegas Bladers were running the Evo Beyblade event. And what they were doing was it was a large crowd of people more casual into the sports, or they're like people are chatting and talking and stuff like that. And they would limit the round to a time limit. So each round would be 30 minutes. If you don't get your match done by that 30 minutes, or you're not finishing it by then, it's a draw or it's a game loss depending on whoever it is. So like,
Oh my
because
god.
especially with Evo, there was a lot of
Oh, that's
people that
wild.
were there for they were signed up for Beyblade tournament, but then they're also competing in Evo events, and they would be there in line waiting for their queue for the main fighting game they're doing, and they'd be gone for an hour. So what would happen was
Oh
after a
no.
certain time, you get I think the first one is just you you get a round loss, but then the second one you're dropped. So like doing stuff like that is one of the things we need to finalize because that's how it worked for Evo, and that seemed to be the most efficient because especially with this being an anime event, it's like, oh, I finished round one, I'll wait for all these people to go because I was like part of the first wave to do my tournament. I'll go shopping or I'll go watch this performance at the stage or whatever. And then what if they don't show up, or they're at the maid cafe, or they're doing photos in front of our giant skeletons? I have one skeleton that's just a giant skeleton like coming out of the ground as a photo op, but then I have another one that plays the violin, and I'm looking to dress him up as Brooke. So for people that are into One Piece, you can get a photo with Brooke as long as I can guarantee I find clothes that fit him because he's like 9 feet tall. But that'll be one of our activations and stuff. So if people are there like trying to do a group photo and they're trying to coordinate all this stuff and they're gone for 30 minutes or more trying to make this photo happen, what happens to the tournament? So I'm pretty sure we're probably going to do something similar to that. I don't know how exact it'll be, but doing that kind of stuff based on our experience with big events like Evo and stuff is like, okay, these are the rounds. This is the time limit we have based on how long the tournament can go, how many people are still in the round, and then how long those matches could reasonably go. So like if everyone is doing a Wizard Rod versus Wizard Rod match in every battle, it's like, okay, how long would that take?
Forever.
Add a little bit of time, but then like add like each wave times 12 stadiums, whatever. So like doing all the math like that has been one of our things where that's why we decided on that format versus a different format where it's like the first to seven like one game best of one first to seven versus best of 3 first to 5 like BBAX, or best of 3 first to 4 like the standard / WBO format. So it's like doing that math. This is what makes sense. But then also based on that math is what is the reasonable time for each round? 30 minutes, 45 minutes, stuff like that. So that's one of our main notes for our next judge meeting.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Well, I think it is actually about that time that we kind of start wrapping her up, talk about what we have going on in the Minnesota scene. And if you have anything up in the works for Las Vegas, that would also be your time. So go ahead, think about that. Vile, what do we got up in Minnesota?
Well, this weekend, I believe at Kraken Hits, we have one of Sam's events. I believe it's just going to be like a pretty normal, unranked event. There's not going to be any weird gimmicks or special stadiums or anything like that. So that'll be at 4 p.m. doors, 5 p.m. start time. $7 entry fee, as is normal for Sam's events. I'm sure he's got his pricing structure listed in the WBO event page if that's something you're interested in checking out. I don't know it quite offhand. So that's this Saturday. I believe Sunday, Khan's doing a big free play thing at the Forge down in Chaska. I don't know the exact times for that, but I do know it's under the event announcements on the server. So if you're free on Sunday and you want to play some Beyblade, go ahead and head to the event announcement section on the Discord and check that out. And then I believe we have some other things going on. Specifically, we are going to have, let's see, what do we got? We have
the big thing going on.
Well, the GP on the 5th, right? Everyone knows about that.
That's the next
course,
weekend.
yeah.
Everyone knows about the GP. The night before the GP, Friday, we're going to have a free play at Kraken Hits, probably starting around 6 p.m. like normal. That can go until midnight. We're going to have the big room rather than the small one, so it'll be good. So bring your Hasbro stadiums, bring your knee pads, get ready to play on the floor, and practice for the GP the next day. So that's the GP weekend. The weekend after that, I believe Sam is having another event at Kraken Hits, 4 p.m. doors, 5 p.m. start time. Probably a similar pricing structure to his other one. I can't say for sure what he's going to be doing with the format for that yet. He has a whimsical mind when it comes to formats. And then following that, on the 19th of September, I'm going to have a team event. It might just be the traditional team format. I might do something a little different. We're going to wait and see a couple days and see how I feel. I believe there's a medal fight tournament at the library the following day on the 20th. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yep, the 20th.
Okay. What's that, like 12 doors, 12:30 start time? Is that correct? I believe it's a free event.
Yep.
I'll take a quick look.
I'm pretty sure that's what's going on, though.
Yeah.
Yep, 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock doors.
Huh?
12 o'clock doors, 12:30 game.
Yeah. So that's being run by Holly and Six, I believe. So that should be fun for all you Metal Fight fans out there. And then on the 26th, if everything goes good with the mall and stuff, there should be the next spin event on the 26th. Probably noon doors, 1 p.m. start time, $5 entry. Don't quote me on that, but that's kind of been the standard in the past. And that kind of runs us through to the end of September. So you got anything for us, brother, from out from Vegas?
Probably the main shout out would probably be our BBAX Pro Series event that one of our organizers, Slim Spins Bays on Instagram, is hosting with us. We have a few BBAX certified judges as well, so we're trying to give a little variety because everyone generally does WBO, but we also want some more variety and give some BBAX presence here in Vegas. September 19th, so the same day as your team thing, but West Side US. 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. is a ranked BBAX tournament where the grand prize will be getting a red AP. So $20 entry over here at the Fugu Burger location, doing a AP tournament out here. Our next regionals probably is November. Maybe it might. I think the season ends November, so we might have it early December. But for our next immediate event is this Saturday, Sunday. If you're here in Vegas or you're nearby and want to drive out, Anime Night Mart is going to be at the YMCA the 29th and 30th. The 29th is doing our standard deck format, 3v3 WBO rules, where first place gets a weekend pass to Cave. But if you are interested in doing the Beyblade tournament, we can use that towards the Beyblade entry. So we can like upgrade the ticket basically. And then anime figures and plushies given away Saturday as well. And then Beyblades like Ring Aether, Blitz Bahamut, Valor Bison, Hell's Hammer, stuff like that given away on the Sunday for our King of the Hill events. And then of course Cave coming up first week of October. So that's our big one. I saw a few people that joined a little late asking about what car Cave is. We're still shopping for it, as I mentioned previously, but we are looking at Miatas, BMWs. There's a Porsche Boxster that it keeps popping up on Facebook that I'm looking at. So if you're interested, the best way to solidify what vehicle we're getting is getting your ticket early so we can secure the vehicle ASAP to then market it, get it wrapped and everything, and then get the gaming computer set up, built, and designed, like we were saying, diorama or build inside, and then securing the camera setup to make sure everything is up and running, built out for the Beyblade rig, and we'll showcase that as well. So getting your tickets is the number one assistance for Cave.
Yep, earlier the better. So
Yep,
for sure. Well, is there anything else that you guys want to ask? Coming from both sides, Vile's good. Wacko C.
I think I'm good.
What about you, Effort? You good? Any questions for us over on the Minnesota side?
No. At some point, I'm gonna swing by the East Coast. Normally up in, I think December 5th, I have an event over on the East Coast up in Maryland that I'm gonna be up there for. So if there's anyone in that Northeast area, so Maryland, DC kind of area that has a Beyblade community, let me know. I'm definitely gonna see if I can pop out for a tournament out there if I can. Because normally Saturday is the event I'm there for, and then Sunday I'll go to DC or whatever. So looking for something new, something different, and if we can do something Beyblade, let's go for it.
Nice.
I suck at string. We have a lot of really good string players. I suck at it. Winders for me, even though I don't pull as hard on winder, but I lose a lot of control in string, and I'll self KO a lot. So definitely winder for me.
I'm the same.
Kind of had to get the last question in, which was string or winder, and just so. All right, guys. So that is it for this episode of the Spin Zone podcast. So big thank you for Effort for coming out today, talking about this big event, probably going to be the biggest event of the year involving Beyblade. So thank you so much. We do appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to talk about this event.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. You guys have been doing great content, so great to be part of it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we love and hear.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, make sure you go to basinbricks.com, use code SPINZONE. Also go to molatoys.com, use code SPINZONEPODCAST at checkout for some discounts on all things Beyblade. Make sure you join all of our socials, the YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, everything, just to kind of stay up to date. Join the Discord, join those conversations. But guys, up until next time, so long, stay safe out there. Have a great and awesome rest of your day. Remember, save it for the stadium. Take care.